Ooh. What's up, good people? It's time for another session of that verbal cardio, man. We back in business, as they say. Back once again. Hold on one second, y'all. Hold on one second. Bear with me, live people. If you are listening to the podcast audio only, welcome to Verbal Cardio. It's me just running my mouth for a brief moment in time. That's all this podcast has ever been. That's why I call it Verbal Cardio, because it's just me running my mouth, man. I want to give a shout out to my patron saints. San Francisco 49er girl, Roberto, Texas, AJ, Valerie T, Candy Cammy, Sherry Tucker, Uncle Ruff, Christina Shanks, Aaron Lewis, Miss Josie, Miss Maya G, Zakia, Joy Lynn, Jamal, Christina, I already said Christina, double back, Bundy McBuckets, Crunchy Apple, Aries, Art Diva, Valerie T, Mish. I appreciate y'all, man. Thanks for being up in here, man. Apparently it's Wings, it's National Wings Day. So if you're about that wings life, you know what I'm saying? It's a special day for you. Go get some wings. Go holler at them. Go see what they talking about. Go feel them up. See what's going on. Somebody asked me, why don't you do voiceovers? Let me explain this for the 85th time. When I do the voiceovers, I don't have rights to the videos. So if somebody reports the video, or if these other companies license that actual video, they can come, Instagram can come, community guidelines, and pull it off my page. The more you get stuff snatched off your page for violating community guidelines, they can shut your page down. So, with that being said, all my voiceovers, 98% of those, they just copyright violations. So they could just be pulled. So I don't do it anymore because I want to keep my page. Now, a lot of people just be like, well, yo, just make a separate page and you just do the voiceovers, and then they're going to take that down. And then I'm going to make another page, then they're going to take that down. Now I'm going to make another page, they're going to take that down. Listen, y'all, I'm not that passionate about it, to be out here making fake pages over and over again. I'm just not that passionate about it. So that's why you rarely see any voiceovers on my page now. I went back and pulled mad voiceovers off my page going back. The other week, they pulled a video from my page that I posted in like 2019. So that's why. That's why you don't see the voiceovers anymore. I'm sorry, but if I do a TV show, a voiceover TV show, y'all better pull up. Everybody that's just like, man, we don't care nothing about nothing else you doing in life. Where the voiceovers? You better pull up when I got a TV show, when I need the numbers. I did a voiceover the other day, though. I did a remix. So hopefully the remix thing is good to go. I did a raccoon. This lady was trying to catch a raccoon with a net in her kitchen. So I did that voiceover. So that might be a little loophole around stuff getting pulled from my page. But what I won't do is sacrifice the 2.9 million people I've been able to accumulate on my Instagram just to give you all the satisfaction of me doing more voiceovers. And then when I get my page taken, that's going to affect my tour money. It's not worth it. Because I don't get paid for my voiceovers. I can't get paid for my voiceovers. It's impossible because I don't have the rights to that video. So there's no way I can monetize. I know y'all be like, man, they get millions of views on your video, but it's not my video. So the money I make comes from my stand-up talent. That's all. That's what it is. That's why I focus on my stand-up comedy and my tours, because that is actually my bread and butter. So I hope that clarifies everything on the voiceover front on why I rarely do voiceovers anymore. I hope this answers the question. I know people still gonna ask, but I hope you get some type of insight and clarity on why I don't do them as much. I never got paid for the voiceovers this whole time. If I got paid, if I actually was able to get paid for my voiceovers, I would have been Brady McBrederson. Because when back in the day when I was tallying up, like, because the amount of voiceovers I was doing on a regular basis, I was doing maybe like 10 a week, maybe even sometimes 17 a week, 20 a week. The majority of those videos getting 1 million views, sometimes more. When you tally up all the stuff I was doing, we talking hundreds of millions of views. Hundreds of millions. No exaggeration. Because like when I'm doing, I would have those days too where I would do like 10 new voiceovers in one day. And all those getting mad views, and then you tally all that up over time. It's crazy. But it is what it is. So I had to shut that down, man. It's either shut that down or get my page shut down, and it's not worth the risk. But what I do want you to support me on is my live shows. Is my other content, my stand-up clips. Y'all can make the stand-up clips pop. Share those. You know what I'm saying? Share the stand-up clips. Spread those around. Like same way you do the voiceover. Same way, as soon as I drop a voiceover, you engage, you comment, you share, you like. Do all that with the stand-up clips. Do all that with the promo for tour and all the other stuff I'm doing. Support what I can do and monetize on. That's what's hard hitting. Support my Patreon. Support my podcast. Come to my shows when I'm in your city. That's the real. Because the voiceovers are very limited. Unless you see me doing a TV show. And then that's when I'm going to need your eyeballs on it running the numbers up. So I hope that clarifies everything, man. You know what I'm saying? Get off my back. Get off my back, man. Support what I got control over. In Charlotte, North Carolina, I'm out there this weekend. Get your tickets. About 840 of y'all bought tickets. No, 800 and something of y'all. 880 something. Either way, I want more. I need more, man. I'm in Charlotte this weekend at the Comedy Zone. 5 shows, 2 Friday, 2 Saturday, 1 Sunday. All the VIP tickets were sold out, but we added VIP tickets to each show. So now if you want to get close, there are still some VIP tickets available now. I think they added 12 VIP tickets to each show. So if you want that VIP life, we just added more tickets for that. I'd like to give a shout out to my patron saints. Thank y'all for being in here. Y'all are like co-producers on this thing. Shout out to Valerie T, Kareem, Tanya, Miss Mia, Miranda, Diane, Nicole, New York Calm. I see you, man. New York Calm. I need another sweatsuit, man. I need another color. Let's get some more colors going, man. I need more. Hulk Hogan passed away. Let's talk about it. Hulk Hogan passed away recently. Since my last verbal cardio, we've lost Malcom Jamal Warner, Ozzy Osbourne, Hulk Hogan. What's his name? Matt Gioni. I probably said his name wrong. He's the jazz musician. Mark Gioni. I'm tearing his name up, man. I'm trash. I hate the fact that Malcom Jamal Warner lost his life in the way that he did. My heart goes out to his family, his friends, everybody that knew him, everybody that, crossed his path. It sucks, man, like to lose somebody. And I can only imagine, like, what his family's going through, his wife, his daughter. A drowning like that is so tragic, and you just realize, and we do this every time when it comes to death. We we say, oh man, let people know that you love them, and you know what I'm saying, give them the flowers while they can still smell them. And we do this every death. And then when we lose somebody, you're forced to be like, oh, you're forced to focus in, because the reality is this: we be out here living our lives day in and day out, and we forget about people. We forget about, sometimes we forget to reach out to our loved ones. We forget about this person that made us laugh all these years, or because life be lifing. Life be out here, man. We be going through stuff. We be keeping our heads above water. And then you just naturally just lose sight of people. And then when they die, you're like, you lock back in. You're like, oh man. So when it comes to Malcolm Jamal Warner, it made us lock into Theo Huxtable and that whole thing and what that meant and how many times he's made you laugh or you connected with him. And then you think about all the other stuff he was doing after the Cosby Show, Malcolm and Eddie, and all the acting that he's done, the music that he makes, the poetry that he puts down, the things that he says, his voice. You know what I'm saying? His voice was very familiar to me. I can hear Malcolm Jamal Warner and be like, yo, that's Malcolm. I could recognize his voice like that. And, he just always seemed like he had a good spirit about him, a good energy. And our heart went out to him when the girl he was dating that played Myra on Family Matters, when she passed, they were a couple. So we already had a soft spot for Malcolm, just going through something like that. And, it just humanizes a person. And then he had recently became a father. His daughter is she's young. And, he became a father later on in his life. And one of his last posts, he had a sunflower in his ear that his daughter gave him. And, just stuff like that really humanizes a person. And you realize when you go back and you look at the clips and you look at the stuff and you look at you think about him on the Cosby Show, Malcolm and Eddie, whatever you liked him in, and you just man, it made me think the Cosby Show in particular was a big part of my growing up, man. It was that show, it was the number one show on TV, but that was must-see viewing. And the Cosby Show gave us a beautiful image of a black family. We could say what we say about Bill Cosby and the trifling stuff he was doing, but the Cosby Show was just special, man. It was funny. It felt familiar. We got attached. They felt like our family. It was so much that we could relate to. A lot of people bring up they were well off. It was a doctor and a lawyer and their family. And, a lot of people was like, we not the Cosbys. And that's the ideal picture of a family. But when you really lock into the Cosby Show, it wasn't like they were this family that they were holier than thou, and you could never find a family this perfect. I remember Vanessa and Denise having that little scuffle and stuff like that, and these things where it's yo, this is a real family, and they gave us different skin tones within the family, which I love. You got dark, you got light, it just encompassed so much of the black experience in one family, and it was beautiful to see, and it was just a great show. And I'm glad that it was a massive success, and it just proved that we were hungry for, let's see black folks outside of the struggle. Let's see them outside of the projects, outside of the hood, a nuclear family with a husband and wife at the helm, and several daughters and one son, and these different parameters, and showing Claire Huxtable. You're not just gonna run over Claire Huxtable, and those episodes where they're teaching Theo about how to manage his money when he wanted to move out and be on his own. They set up this whole extravagant experience for him to go through and be like, yo, this is how it's gonna be financially when you go off on your own. And that episode taught me a lot about how expensive it is to just exist in life. And the episode where Theo wanted that Gordon Gartrell shirt. And, you know, Denise was like, yo, I can make you the shirt. And then she made him the shirt, and it was gloriously disastrous. And, like, you know, that shirt still resonates with so many of us. And it's just, that show meant a lot. And so with his passing, because he's the only cast member that we have lost. The major cast, the core cast. You know, we've lost, you know, the guy that played Cliff Huxtable's father, and, like, you know, we've lost some characters in that way. But as far as the main cast, he is the first one that we have lost. And so you thinking about, like, man, the Huxtables were like family to me growing up. I remember my pops, he recorded every episode. He had every episode recorded on VHS. So we could just go to his house, go in the basement, look and be like, yeah, the Cosby Show. He probably still got those tapes in his basement to this day. And, you know, because I know Philip Baker thought he was Cliff Huxtable. I can tell he was like, yo, man, I relate to him right here, man. He is me. I know he related to Cliff on that level. But so yeah, man, my heart truly goes out to Malcolm and his family and his friends, and, like, you know, just passing away by drowning is just so terrifying, and it's so sudden, and it's so, like, just unbelievably tragic that, you know, it was tough, man. I was like, nah, man. So that passing really sat with me, man. So shout out to Malcolm Jamal Warner and his memory and his family, all that good stuff. Also, Hulk Hogan passed, but I gotta be honest, man, like, Hulk Hogan really fucked me up, man. Because I grew up a fan of Hulk Hogan. Like, he really got me into wrestling when I was a kid. Like, Hulk Hogan, Junkyard Dog, Superfly Snooker or whatever, Andre the Giant, Roddy Piper, Ricky the Dragon Steamboat, Macho Man, Jake the Snake Roberts. This was the era that I came up in where I started paying attention to wrestling, the Ultimate Warrior. And, you know, Hulk Hogan was like the one. Like, Hulk Hogan is like, yo, it's me and the Hulksters. And he would just rip his shirt open, and it was just like, yeah, man, Hulk Hogan. And in my eyes, I was like, yo, man, this dude is larger than life. This dude is epic. Even I remember watching his reality show years later, Hogan Knows Best, and, like, you know, getting to know his family, and, like, seeing him in Gremlins 2 when the Gremlins took over the whole movie theater. And Hulk Hogan was in the audience. He was like, hey, man, you Gremlins better turn that back on. And then the Gremlins was like, oh, snap, man, get the film strip back on, man. If you've never seen Gremlins 2 in the movie theater, you really missed out, because that was an experience. Because the way they set it up, when I was watching it in real time, they had a scene in Gremlins 2 where the film burns out, and you see, it looks like the Gremlins are actually in your projection booth. You just see their silhouettes, and they just in there cutting up. And then it's like, yo, are the Gremlins really in this movie theater? So you kind of look back at the projection booth. But you know, if you watch that on TV, you'll never get that experience. But I saw it in real time in theaters. But Hulk Hogan had a cameo in that. And then when you find out that Hulk Hogan harbored this bigotry, it just tainted the whole thing. A fly landed on the whole legacy for me. A fly landed right there. I was just like, man, you know, certain things you just can't excuse or unsee. And you be like, yeah, people change, but you a grown man. I can see if you was a teen, preteen doing some dumb shit. I'll give you a pass on ignorance and bullshit. When you educate yourself and you become enlightened, I'll give you a pass on a grimy youth. Because you got to allow people to change and grow. I'll give you that. But when you're a grown man, knowing better, all these experiences that you've had, all these people that you meet, the people that you work with, I can't give you that same pass no more. Because you know better. You know that's fucked up. And so for me, like, even though they be like, man, the legacy and the legend there, I was like, man, but nah, man. So when he did pass, you know, my heart goes out to his family for sure. But it didn't hit me. I didn't post him. I didn't, you know, I'm not gonna be like, man, R.I.P. to the legend Hulk Hogan. Nah, man. Not my black fingers. My black fingers couldn't type that shit. My black fingers couldn't bring myself to post, yo, R.I.P. Hulk Hogan, because I don't know if he's still a bigot or not. I don't know if that's still in you. And I'm not gonna waste my energy on a bigot like that. Waste my good spirit, my goodwill. You know what I'm saying? It's like, no, but you know, when they pass, nah. You know? So, and it just sucks that it has to be that way, but that's how I feel. It's like, you know, if you got issue with people that look like me, then why am I sitting here like mourning you when you could probably care less about people that look like me? So, you know, stuff like that. And I don't want to hear none of that shit. Well, you know, I like the good black. So, nah, fuck that, man. So, yeah, man. Tanya says Slim Thug is hating on Megan. I saw a video of Slim Thug saying that he wasn't hating on Megan, that, you know, that he wasn't trying to get with her. I saw him like defending his case or whatever about Meg Thee Stallion, because I know he's made some comments about her in the past and like stuff like that. And maybe he does have a crush on her. I don't know. But, you know, Meg is out here booed up at the present time for the moment. Hopefully it lasts. I got zero faith in celebrity hookups. Zero faith. I got zero faith. Especially like two high profile people coming together. I'll be having minimal faith that they're going to last. That's just me. I'll be wishing for the best. But I'll be like, for now. You know what I'm saying? For now. And stop hating on single people, man. We talking about relationships. I'm sick of y'all. Stop acting like we ain't got nothing to contribute as far as our thought processes when it comes to relationships. Stop writing us all just because we single. Many people are single by choice, not because we can't get nobody, not because we can't stay in a long-lasting relationship. We can do that. We can do that. I'm not one of those people that have been out here like, I can't find nobody. I can't find nobody to connect with. Why is it not working? Like, why? I see a lot of people struggling on the dating front like that, where it's just like they keep getting somebody new time and time again. They keep trying and failing. I don't be trying and failing. I don't be doing that, because I don't move through life like I got to find somebody. I know I can find somebody. And no, not to be cocky, not to be all like, you know what I'm saying? You think you all that. I know I can find somebody. I could have been in a relationship in 2023. If I so chose to do that. But I'll be taking my sweet time. I'll be like, you know what I'm saying? I could have been booed up in 2023. Holding hands in a relationship. Then y'all be like, Tony know what he talking about because he in a relationship. Man, single people got good insight too. I feel like good insight comes from people that have experienced things. And a lot of single people have experienced real relationships. A lot of them have. Just because they might be currently single or they might be divorced or whatever, they still have valuable input on things of that nature, you know. Because somebody, you know, the post the other day was, I put up a post about some girl said, it's weird to me if you get mad that your partner says no to sex, right? So I put up a rebuttal video to that, and I was just like, yo, I agree with her. It is weird if you get mad that your partner says no. And I put in the video itself, I said, but If it's a chronic thing where it's always a no, if it's always a no, that's a deeper issue that you need to discuss. But on a one-off, to get mad because your partner's like, yo, I'm not in the mood. I agree. That's weird to be mad about it. You could be like, you could be bummed out. You got to go rub one out yourself. You could be, man, you know what I'm saying? But if it's just a one and done, or not even a one and done, if it's just every now and then, they'd be like, nah, man, I don't really feel like doing it. What you mad for? Mad is just weird energy to me. Because I'm a firm believer. I am a firm believer in, we both wanted sex. That's what I like. That's the kind of sex I'm drawn to. I don't want you just doing it for me. I don't want that. I want it to be mutual. Like, yo, man, I'm feeling you right now. Well, then what you trying to do? I like that type of sex. I don't want let me just give him some just so he can, you know what I'm saying? Then I'm just like, well, do you want it? I want you to want it, though. I don't want you just giving me the pumps just because. I got to give him the pumps, y'all. Nah, I like equal energy, man. I like it when we both want this. That's when I'm like, well, let's get it then. I'm going to tear your ass loose. But all that, and then there was dudes in the comment section like, yo, well, then I'm going to just go cheat then. Like, really? That's the alternative? Just because she say no every once in a while, you like, well, it's either this or I'll go out and get it elsewhere. That's a bullshit ass logic, man. That whole thought process is troubling to me. I ain't with it. So now there's a threat of I don't move in like ultimatums and threats, right? If you unhappy with my sexual output, you can bring it to the table and be like, I would like more sex. And I'll be like, I'll do the best I can in terms of giving you the sex that you want. But if it's still not enough for you and this is all I can muster, then you have every right to be like, all right, well, then we don't match. And then you break up. But all that, I'm gonna just get it elsewhere. That's some bullshit. If you don't match with your partner sexually and sex is a high priority in the relationship for you, then that's not your person then. You just got to opt out. You got to be like, we just don't match. If sex is that important to where it's like, yo, it's a huge part of me in the relationship, then you're going to have to opt out because that person might have a low sex drive with you, and that's fine. But don't be out here like, well, if you ain't giving me the coochie, then I'm gonna just go out in the streets and get it. That's bullshit, man. That's immature, that's whack, that's super selfish, it's unsanitary, and it's just trash, man. If your partner doesn't satisfy you enough sexually, just tap out, man. Just be like, hey, it's not gonna work for me. Hey, move on. Find somebody that's on your level sexually then. Go out there and get you a partner like that. But the threat to hang that over somebody's head as a threat, oh, you ain't gonna give me the butt tonight? All right. Where you going? I'm going out. I'm gonna find somebody that's gonna give me the butt because whatever you ain't gonna do, they'll do it. Well, you know what? Let that person go and then you do what you want to do. Get all the butt you like in the streets. But that whole ultimatum crap and like, shit, if you don't give it to me, I'm going to get it elsewhere. Well, you know what? Good luck. Go out there and get all the pumps your heart desires. But you're not about to give me the ultimatum here. Trash. I ain't with it, man. I ain't with it at all. For me, it's just like, yo, man, I'm down to get into a little something. And she was like, well, I thought you'd never ask. And then boom, pow, you off to the races. Good quality, robust sexual real estate. You feel me? I'm going to cut the live off because they like, yo, man, cut the live off. So I'm going to cut them off. If y'all don't want to be cut off, join my Patreon. Click the link in my bio, join the Patreon. You ain't got to miss a beat. But if not, if you just gonna be free McGee, then I gotta cut off the feed. So I appreciate y'all in the IG Live. Join my Patreon. You can do it right now. Click the link in my bio. Click that Patreon tab. And then join $5 a month. What's $5 a month? $5. I know you got $5 a month. I know you got it. I know you got $5 a month. You wouldn't even notice it leaving your account. And it's a good time. You wouldn't even notice the $5 leaving your account. Y'all wouldn't know. Y'all be like, man, times is hard, man. $5 a month, man. Y'all got it. You got it. You got it. I know you do. So go join up right now, man. I'm sick of y'all. Yeah, man. What else? So Deion Sanders has been dealing with health issues. They were saying that he had bladder cancer and they had to remove the bladder. So a lot of people were wondering, like, well, then how does he pee? Like, they were having these real concern about, what happens when you do have to have a bladder removed. And we always rooting for Coach Prime, and he already had to have part of his foot removed, and now this, and I'm always rooting for Deion Sanders. I wish him the best, him and his family, and I appreciate his transparency in his health journey. And it's just, I really want y'all to be mindful of, and I say this all the time on the podcast, I'll be saying the same shit all the time, but I really want y'all to be mindful of your health. I want y'all to be low-key obsessed with it. I want y'all to be making these appointments, going to these doctor's offices so they can catch stuff early, so they can monitor you. If there's anything troubling you, man, just go talk about it. Go make that appointment. Go let the doctors know, hey, man, I'm feeling this. I feel this here. I feel that there. What's this? What's that? Ask questions. Get tested regularly. Annual exams. Full exams. You know what I'm saying? Get your booty holes looked in. Fellas, get your booty holes looked in. Get your colon checked. Get your prostate scratched and sniffed. All that, man. Get your blood work going, man. I want y'all to survive. I want y'all to live. I want y'all to be alive and around, And I would hate to lose people just because you were negligent. Because we dying young, man. It's a lot of black men out here dying young. So, I want health to be a priority for all of us. Appointments made. Health thought about. Water being drank. The right choices in your diet, Recognize and realize we're not going to be here forever. And I know some of y'all got the mindset of just, you only live once, man. You might as well just enjoy it while you can. But once you're sick, once you're down and out, when you're sick, you start to look at the world differently. So I don't even want it to get to that level for y'all if we can help it. Anything you can do health-wise, because we can't help it. Some things on the health front, we ain't got no control over. Even if we healthy, we doing all the exercising, we eating right, and your body is still going to be like, nah, this. But anything that you have control over, I want you to do it. Everything that you have control over. So with that, you have control over making them appointments. Taking the time to be like, let me get this checked out. Let me go holler at the doc. I'm going to the doctor next week because I want to have some moles looked at, right? So I just want to be on the up and up. I was like, man, look at these moles. So next week I'm going in there. They can scrape off some samples, and then, I just want to make sure I'm good, man. I don't want to get caught slipping out here. So don't be scared, man. I know some people are scared of the whole experience when it comes to going to the doctor. They don't like going. That was me when I was younger. I ain't want no parts of nothing. I ain't want to know nothing. I'm gonna go in there. They're gonna tell me I'm dead. Cause I was a hypochondriac McGee, man. I thought I had everything. I thought I was like, yo, man. Only got 6 months. So I want y'all to just be on top of that, man. Just fight through the fear, man. Just get informed. So shout out to Deion Sanders and his family and all that good stuff. The Ball Brothers tour is coming up soon. My final solo city is in Charlotte this weekend at the Comedy Zone. 5 shows. The Ball Brothers tour starts September 27th in St. Louis, Missouri. We got St. Louis, Nashville. We got Dallas. We got Houston. We got Atlanta. We got Chicago. We got Detroit. We got Boston. We got Philly. We got New York. We got Richmond, Virginia. We got Orlando. We got Washington, D.C. We got Charlotte. We got Oakland. And then we got Los Angeles. So what's that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. We got 16 cities. The Ball Brothers is pulling up. It's a live experience like nothing before. It's very audience interactive. Me and Kev on stage at the same time. I want y'all to get your tickets. Even if you come see me solo, this is not going to be the same show whatsoever. Completely different experience. Fully immersive. Let's get it. Get your tickets to the Ball Brothers tour now. Again, that's St. Louis, Nashville, Dallas, Houston, Atlanta, Chicago, Detroit, Boston, Philly, New York, Richmond, Orlando, D.C., Charlotte, Oakland, Los Angeles. Get your tickets. Get them while they hot, shorty. Get it on the floor. Get it on the floor. So there's a basketball player that a woman claims that he left her stranded, flew her out to Turks and Caicos. Why everybody going to Turks and Caicos? What the hell is going on out there in Turks and Caicos where y'all just can't wait to get up out there? Y'all just love them spots where it's just like Turks and Caicos and the Maldives and the Cabo St. Lucas. And y'all just be like, right? Invites her out there and flies her out. And she says that he left her stranded there because she wouldn't have sex with him. So y'all already know where I'm going. I'm all about if she say no, then it's no. If it's no, then it's no. No, non-negotiable. For me, non-negotiable. If it's no, then it's no. And I feel like if you flew a girl out to have sex, and this happens all the time, you know, so people take trips to get the sex. I'm not a fly you out type person. That's not my MO. If I fly somebody out, that means I'm really liking you beyond the, you know what I'm saying? It's more than just smash for me. So, you know, flying out is not my, I kind of helped fly out my ex. It was like, you know, she had already put some money on. I just put some extra. I paid for half the flight. And then when we linked up out there, we made it official that weekend. Like, yo, man, let's be boyfriend and girlfriend. So my fly out is like, my one fly out ended up in a relationship. So, you know, these flying girls out, and dudes be flying girls out. Like, yeah, man, I'm gonna fly her out so we can get it in. And dudes be doing this. But that's just not my MO. Like for me, it's like, I gotta work. You can catch me while I'm working. Maybe I'll be in your city because of work. I don't even fly myself out for the visit. You know, I just be like, oh, hopefully we'll cross paths. But so usually if I'm flying anybody out, that means, you know, I'm liking you more than just the smash and dash. So dudes be flying women out expecting the sex. I feel like if you're flying somebody out and sex is on your mind, it's on the menu, it should already be a conversation. It should already be like, yo, man, I wanna take you down. Like, I want you to take me down. How about I fly you out? And you know what I'm saying? Flying people out on the assumption of sex is wild business. That's wild to be like, yeah, I'm gonna fly you out. You know, I just want you to come out and hang and build. And just like knowing your whole goal is to smash, but you want to fly somebody out just to be like, no, we could just hang and kick it and enjoy each other's company. Be real about what it is. Before any ticket is purchased, before any trip is made, be real and be clear about what it is and what we're doing and what the goals are. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know if they had a conversation to where it was like, yo, when we come out here, let's get it in. She might have been like, yo, I'm going to tear you up when I get out there. But guess what? She still has a right to change her mind. She could get out there and be like, you know what? I'm not feeling this like I thought I was. Every human being has every right to change their mind on sex with somebody. Point blank, period. I don't care how you slice it. Even if they was like, yo, I'm going to tear your ass loose soon as I land. And then you get out there and they be like, you know what? You know what I'm saying? Every right. So I don't know if she did it like that, or I don't know if he was just like, yo, just come out, take a load off. I know you've been stressed. Just come out to Turks and Caicos and take a load off, have fun. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if he presented it like that. I don't know what he presented it as. Let's say he did come with the false intent, like just come out and build, you know, no pressure. And then you get out there and you find like, oh man, I thought we was gonna do something. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. But let's say I was in that situation, right? Let's say I do bring a girl out to Turks and Caicos, and then she like, nah, I don't want to do it. I'm not the type of person that's gonna be like, well, you on your own. I'm out. Nah, I'm gonna be like, all right, well, shit, okay, cool then. So we just gonna exist. Now, if I'm already at that fly you out level, that means I should like a little bit more than you than just the smash. I should like other aspects of you than just the smash. Because I'm not flying you out just for the smash. You know what I'm saying? Just like, yeah, I don't like shit else about you but that coochie. So let me fly you out. I'm just not built like that. I'm not doing the, you know what I'm saying? I want to smash, let me fly you out. If I want to smash, hey man, when I'm in your city, maybe we can link up. That's me. I'll be out there in Crimwood, Mississippi. That's where you at, right? Maybe we can link up. And then, even then, I might not even have the time to link up because work is the first priority. So I'll be like, Saturday afternoon, you good with that? It's the squeeze in for me. I don't know, but I know a lot of you dudes is out here flying women out with the intent to smash. And hey, I'm not really about that life. I ain't really about it, man. And if I do tell a woman like, yo, you can come out here, just chill. If I say that to you, I mean it. You can come out here, just chill. You know? But yeah, man. But that's trash though, to just leave a woman stranded like that. That's garbage. Anyway, you slice that up. It's garbage. It's straight trash. So, and I will say this: if you just want to fly some sex out, why don't you just pay for sex from an escort, a professional? You know what I'm saying? If you really about that life, you just like, I just want to fuck something. I just want to fuck on something. Just get a professional. You know, get somebody that's all business, it's all transactional. That way you guarantee the work. You know what I'm saying? Like, if that's all you want, truly, you could just be like, all right, let me get an escort, fly her out. She's gonna be professional. And then I'll be like, yo, one of the perks of the job, you fly you out, you can stay out here all weekend, you can stay at the resort. But I just need that action a couple of times. She'd be like, bet. And then boom, pow, transaction. You know what I'm saying? But what the hell do I know, man? I'm not in those type of waters. That's not why I dwell. Miss Mia says, since I learned that Brandy and Monica have decided to go on tour together, I'd like to know what is your ideal R&B tour set? Um, as far as set, I like Brandy, I like Monica. Brandy's first single was "I Want to Be Down," and I remember that song. I was like, "Yo, this is a cool little vibe right here." I was never head over heels about that song, but I was like, "All right, Brandy, that's the girl from Thea. She sings too, because she was in the sitcom Thea." And I was like, okay. So I took it in. Monica's debut single, "Just One of Them Days" or "Just One of Them Things." That single hit me harder. That one was like, that made me buy the album. I bought her debut album, Miss Thing. I never got Brandy's debut album. Um, but I was like, "Just one of them things that a girl goes through." I was like, "Man, let me get this, man." Because that came out at a good time where, because Brandy's debut was like 94, 95, I want to say, off the top. I think Brandy's debut album came out in 94. I think Monica's debut came out in 95, 96. So I know I was working though. When Monica came out, I know I was working, so I was buying more albums on the strength of just like one single. Um, so they was both like firing on all cylinders, man. Um, my favorite Brandy song of all time is "Best Friend." No, no, no. Actually, it almost doesn't count. It's almost doesn't count, and then "Best Friend." But Brandy got them hits. Monica got them joints. So I feel like this would be a dope show, and I'm glad they're doing it together. And I love the fact that our artists from back in the day are out here getting this money. I love it. I love this shit. I love it when Usher be on tour, Brandy and Monica, whoever going on tour, Wu Tang on tour. I love that shit, man. And so my ultimate R&B tour set, ideal. Well, Sade is my favorite. Sade is just, everything for me musically. But a dope R&B concert. Now my favorite singers are this. Sade. This isn't any order, but these are like my favorites. Sade, Jill Scott, Erykah Badu, Amel LaRue, Anita Baker, Estero. These are like my favorites of just like, them. And then like as you progress through time, Mary J. Blige was up there for a while, and then I kind of just stopped listening to her music as much. But like her first like 4 albums, really, I was dialed in on Mary J. Blige. Um, India Ari, Alicia Keys early on, I was all in on. Um, fast forward to the now. Even though they were short lived, like I love Jeanne. Like I love them. Like they only put out 2 albums together, but those 2 albums, I was like all in. I like Changing Faces debut. And then like in the current, my favorite R&B singers are SZA and Jhené Aiko. Now, those are the two where it's just like when they drop something, I'm like, oh, I'm all in, guaranteed. On the newer side of life, I like songs from like other artists like her and like um, cats like that. But when those two drop something, I'll be like, oh, I run the whole album through, guaranteed, guaranteed. Tim's as well. Tim's is the latest singer that has me by the chokehold. Tim's is the latest because her album, I'd be wearing that shit down to the nub. Ari Lennox is another one. Ari Lennox, I listen to her heavy as well. When she drops an album, I pull up on it. I listen to the whole thing front to back. You know what I'm saying? Maxwell is another good one. And Maxwell worked with Sade's, the other 3 members of the band. He worked with them heavy on his second album. Embria or whatever, Embria. He worked with them heavy on that one, so that's what gave it that like Sade feel on that tip. I love Sir. I don't listen to Jasmine Sullivan that much. Her voice is amazing, but I don't really be rotating Jasmine like that. But I know her voice is crazy work. Snow Allegra sounds amazing, but I don't be pulling up like I should. But everything I hear, then there's certain artists like her, Snow Allegra. There's certain artists where everything I hear from them, I'm like, yo, this is my vibe. But for some reason, I still don't just fully dive in. And then on the R&B tip, like even now on the male side, Anderson .Paak's Malibu album is my favorite R&B album from a male in probably the past 10 years. I think I got to give it to that album. That Malibu album, man, I couldn't stop listening to that. I was all in on that thing, man. Still go back to that album. I can just run it all the way through. I love that album, Malibu. I didn't listen to Justin Bieber's new album. I've been all over the Clips. This is what I've been listening to. Clips, album did not disappoint. Steadily rotated, front to back banger. I've been listening to Freddie Gibbs and the Alchemist. I've been listening to Raekwon's new album. I'm listening to Apollo Brown's latest album. And I didn't even know Dave East and Ransom dropped the album until recently. There's a song called Egypt with West Side Gun featuring Doechii. That's amazing. So that's what I've been on for the past like week or two. That's the vibe I've been on. I haven't listened to the Justin Bieber album. I ain't even pull up on Travis Scott. Travis Scott is not really my thing. But that Clips though, that Clips did not disappoint, man. And I'm glad it's a success. I love it. I love it. Anything else? I probably won't see Wu-Tang on this particular tour. I saw them recently when it was Nas and Wu-Tang. And that was like 2022. So I was just there. Is there anything else? Wait, hold on. Kareem asked this. How long could you handle being Galactus before you tried to force someone else to take over the mantle? Okay, if you're not familiar with Galactus, he's not a good guy or a bad guy. He's just an entity, a being. And what he does is, you know, he's from the Marvel comics. He's the latest villain in you know, Fantastic Four. I don't really listen to Chris Brown like that, y'all. I don't really be Chris Browning it up. Occasionally I'll tap into like the occasional newer, like I really like Residuals. I really like that song a lot. But I'm not the Chris Brown guy. I like his older stuff like Yo, Excuse Me Miss. That's my favorite Chris Brown song. And even in the Heart Stop. Wait, what's that song? Hey little cutie. That's with you? Yeah. I like that. But yeah, I don't really be dialed in. I love Norah Jones. Love Norah Jones. But anyway, Galactus, right? So Galactus has to devour planets to stay alive. That's who he is. Galactus has to devour planets to stay alive. That's a tough and lonely lifestyle. So what he has done, he creates heralds to find these worlds suitable for him to snack on. And it seems as though he gets more nutrition from planets that are vibrant with life and stuff going on. Because out of the trillions of planets in the solar system, you would think he would just grab some planets that ain't really got nothing going on. But I feel like, nah, man, I need those planets that's popping with life and they having a good time and that's gonna be prime meal real estate for your boy. So that's a lonely existence. So he creates heralds like the Silver Surfer, like Terex, like Nova, like Airwalker, and Fire Lord. These are all like beings that he has created. He has given them the power cosmic to be able to find these planets for him to eat. And so in the Fantastic Four, Shallabal, who's a Silver Surfer, shows up to Earth and like, yo, this planet, man, my boss is coming to devour this planet, y'all. Hold your loved ones tight, say whatever it is you've been wanting to say, and kiss your asses goodbye, man. He coming to meal y'all off. So that made me think, out of all the planets in the solar system, you gonna come for Earth? You couldn't grab Pluto. You couldn't, you know what I'm saying? You couldn't just grab Neptune over there on the side. Is that too much gas for you? So I feel like with Galactus, it seems like he has to have planets that are robust in nutrition. Like you just can't eat a gas giant. You got to get the planets with the life and the terrain and you got to get all this going and be like, yeah. So that means if I was Galactus, I'm not vegetarian. That's how I'm looking at it. Like I'm eating the vegetables of the planet, but I'm also eating people, animals, insects. I'm eating everything that's alive. So then I would feel away. I'd be like, man, I would feel bad. But the alternative is starvation. So I would just be like, yo, if I can give up this mantle, I would give it up. Because I wouldn't want to just be alive forever out here in the universe looking for planets to eat. But in order for me to eat the good planets, they got to be teeming with life. I'm like, oh, damn, man. Because when you think about it, it's like, yo, could I just eat Mercury and just be like, it's a rocky planet, ain't nobody there, And then you also have to contend with throwing the equilibrium off. You can't just come in and snatch up a planet from the rotations. Get you a rogue planet. There's rogue planets out here. I'm not spoiling nothing. Get you a rogue planet out here, man. Because if you take one planet out of the solar system, everything else is gonna go out of whack. Everything is in sync. All the planets, how they moving, the gravitational pull of everybody, everything is working together. It's not just, you can't just come in and take Mars and just be like, all right, man, y'all have at it, and bite into Mars like an apple. Granted, Galactus is not that big. He has to destroy the planet from the inside, and that's neither here nor there. But if you take Mars out of the equation, everything else is going to get thrown off. If you take Jupiter out of the equation, we're done. We're done. If you take Jupiter out of the solar system, Galactus comes in and eats Jupiter, everything else is going to be out of whack. We probably going to freeze to death. We probably going to burn. We're going to be getting hit in the mouth with countless celestial beings, like, asteroids just going to be pounding us in the face because Jupiter absorbs a lot of like asteroids that might have hit Earth. Because the gravitational pull of Jupiter is so massive, it brings in that debris. So all that stuff from the asteroid belt that's beyond Mars, that might just drift off and be like, yo, man, let's slap Earth in the face, man. And then we're going to be Dunskies on that tip. If we didn't already just fry or freeze to death. So Galactus needs to stay his punk ass out this whole solar system galaxy piece. So I would not want to be Galactus for long. I wouldn't want to be Galactus at all, even though he is immensely powerful. I will pass on all that. Hell no. Hell no. Nicole says things that were normal in the 90s but would definitely get you canceled today, or things that should have been left in the group chat. The group chat is a diabolical place. The stuff that's said in group chats, if they were ever to be leaked, everything is in shambles. Because let's be honest, y'all, the majority of us are assholes at our core. Some of us are nicer and more compassionate and more, nurturing and caring than others. But we all have asshole genes embedded inside of us. So when we get into comfortable circles, like our group chat, the asshole parts of us can flourish in these group chats. Stuff that we wouldn't say publicly. So, I'm sure we've all said some questionable shit to loved ones behind closed doors. And me, I strive to be consistent across the board. I strive to be like, what you see here is what I am when the door is closed. I strive to be that outside of like me being like, mad sexual with somebody I'm intimate with. Like, I might not necessarily want you to see my buttery side when I'm talking that sexy shit. Cause I'll talk about sex on streams and like, say, I like this, I like that, but that's on the surface. When I get like buttery and I'm talking to you, that is like, I don't want that side. Not that I would say anything that would get me canceled, but it would get me roasted for sure. It would get me roasted. I was telling a girl, I was like, yo, man, if the public knew what I'd be saying in the heat of battle like that, I would get roasted. She was like, nah, they would want you more. And I'm just like, for me, I'm like, nah, man, I'm gonna be soft as hell. When I think about like the intimate moments where you just like, you're talking soft and you're vulnerable and you're on the, you know what I'm saying? I would be embarrassed. Like the Shannon Sharp thing where we could hear him having sex with a girl. I would be mortified if y'all heard what I'd be saying. And it'd be soft shit. It'd just be soft. Unless it's somebody that I'm really not that into, then it's just pumps. Then it's just pumps, silent pumps. Like, you good? Every now and then. You straight, right? But when I'm really like dialed in, when I'm feeling extra, when I'm feeling you like that, and then I'll be like, then my softness is going to come out. I'm going to be mad buttery. It's going to be margarine. It's going to be country crock. It's going to be vegan butter. It's going to be all the butters, man. The buttermilk, the honey butter, the cinnamon butters. It's going to be Buttersworth McGee. And I see y'all asking what you be saying. I'm not telling y'all, man. That's what I'm saying. So when it comes to the group chat, though, it be jokes in there to just be like, we be ripping people to shreds up in the group chat and saying some stuff in a joking manner, but still, that's why it's like, I know a lot of group chats are racist shit shows, bigoted messes that they would never say to the public, but they in there just talking cash shit. And some of y'all black folks, you guilty of it too. Just being bigots up in the group chat. You know what I mean? So, but I try to move in a way that, the stuff I say in the group chat, I could say to the masses outside of my private love-making talk. I'm talking about, stuff I say about people and, what I'm saying, stuff at large. Maybe it's some stuff like, if comedians bomb or stuff like that, like I might not want to put that out there publicly just to not, embarrass that person or whatever like that. But it'd be like, yo, man, But even then, I don't even like to talk about comedians struggling too much because I feel like that karma will come back to me. Like, oh, you laughing at this comedian struggling? Nah, it's coming back to you. So I try not to dive too much into that unless they're assholes. If they're assholes, then I have no problem. Be like, yo, man, he got his ass lit up on that stage last night, man. Bomb tough for a whole ass nigga. Then it's different. Then it's different. But anyway, man, I've rambled on long enough. I want to make sure I touched on everything that I wanted to talk to y'all about. Ooh, get away. You say it's too much violence? Yeah, I get it. Anyway, man, I want to thank y'all for pulling up the Verbal Cardio live on a Tuesday. I appreciate y'all. Thank you for sending in your questions, your topics, your concerns, all of that good stuff. Thanks for even caring. Thanks for being here. Thanks for listening. Thanks for showing up every time I do it. I appreciate y'all. I appreciate every molecule of support. Absolutely, 1000%. I appreciate y'all. I will keep y'all posted on all things me. Y'all know I'll be hanging on by a thread with Verbal Cardios, but I appreciate y'all, man. I think I have an ad for next week, so it'll probably be back-to-back episodes of Verbal Cardio. Thank you, Alice. I appreciate that. You know, usually I'm walking around in workout gear, so occasionally it feels good to throw on a regular shirt here and there. Here and now, I promise to love faithfully. The background in songs, man. We got to give love to the background vocals in songs. When you think about here and now, it's some background vocals in that come in real nice. I'll be in that background. When I listen to music, I'll be like, what they doing in that background? Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Stop trying to figure out what the love talk is, y'all. You're not gonna hear it. I'm not putting it out there. You want to find out what I be saying? You got to be in there with me. You got to be taking it on a one-on-one level. I'm not telling the group. You want to find out? Then we got to get to that point where I'm giving you the pumps with the loving talk on the plate. That's the only time. If not, you're not gonna hear it. Because I'm not putting myself out there. So good luck trying to get me to the point where I'm telling you this in person. Good luck with that. Because I'm not about to have the fellas out here like, man, tone soft. Big soft. But also can be very non-soft. I can also be very, as a matter of fact, and just give you the pumps quietly. There's a duality with me. So, you know what I'm saying? Anyway, ain't got nothing to do with nothing. Anyway, man, when we drop the episode tomorrow, spread the word, man. Get the word out. Spread it. Share it with your friends. Tell everybody to pull up. Run the numbers up again. You know what I'm saying? Do all those good things for your boy, man. Support what I have control over. That's all I ask. Charlotte, North Carolina. I'm out there this weekend. 5 shows, 2 Friday, 2 Saturday, 1 Sunday. I want you to pull up. It's the final show on the Replenish the Pockets tour. And before we begin, the Ball Brothers. Double up on me if you're in Charlotte. Come to my show and the Ball Brothers show. Double up. 2 different shows. 2 different vibes. All fun. All a good time. Anyway, man, I'm out.